think of my first memory of actually climbing, I remember a lot when we were younger going to the crag, and I do remember always being at the crag and just playing around while my mum and dad were climbing.
Hope my kids would be into climbing. We did a lot of stuff when they were little. We did a lot of different things, and I'm really glad we did. We've had some really great experiences. So we did quite a bit of mountain biking when they were little as well. We did sailing, surfing.
I don't think there's any plan. Yeah. They were quite late coming to it, I guess, because we were too busy climbing ourselves.
Climbing just seemed to gradually become more important to them.
Often just like, yeah, do you want to give it a go? Go and give this problem a go, whatever. And then, yeah, we just got into it pretty quickly, I think.
It might have been different, and we might be spending our weekends mountain biking.
They started showing more and more an interest, and I suppose just on family holidays mainly, so gradually introduced them to it, mainly on sports climbing holidays in Europe.
When they were young, I was mainly into trad climbing, and then when we got young kids, it's not the most efficient way, you don't get lots done. So that sort of cajoled me to get more into sports climbing for sports climbing's sake.
I remember I had a trip to the Basque Country where I got my first lead routes, did a bunch of fours. It was super fun. Yeah.
We travelled around Spain for a year in the van, so we were kind of homeschooling and, you know, teaching ourselves, which was really good. I mean, I think, yeah, that kind of made my mind up at where I wanted to take my climbing, and that I decided that the thing I enjoyed most was outdoor and being outdoors and having that kind of adventure.
It was good for all of us to have a change of scene and really just focus on being able to focus on the outdoor climbing, and so that, you know, they got an experience of climbing at all sorts of different places with us, and then we got to climb a lot as well. So it was a great thing to do as a family, yeah.
Yeah, I think we've always just, as a whole family, been very psyched for it. I've always been surrounded for it. I can't remember suddenly deciding that I was really psyched for it, because it was kind of just always something that we were interested in. I can't really remember not being, to be honest.
Jack was on sighting 7As, and Josh was on sighting, I think he on sighted about 5 or 6 7Bs, and then he wanted to red point something, and he quickly red pointed a 7C plus, and it was a bit of a surprise to go from just sort of like on sighting and then quickly to red point a 7C plus. You know, he was really psyched by that, and then Jack saw him and he was psyched for that. I guess at that point when he was 9 or something, Jack was 7. They like this and they want to push themselves a bit more.
They can go up and work out routes for you, put the clips in for you. It's really helpful. Not just equals, but actually sort of, you know, bring your climbing on as well. It's like really motivating.
I think the thing with starting very young in the fact is that you make progress very quickly, and that's really motivating, and that kind of draws you in.
It never stopped being fun.
We get on really well. We've always climbed together. We always motivate each other. I mean, we're not, I wouldn't say we're competitive, but we always drive each other on.
He's a really good climber, so it's good to get, you know, beater off of each other and work together and have that encouragement and that motivation together. It's really great. Yeah.
I mean, it's been a bit more difficult past couple of years because Jack had this finger injury.
I've had finger injury, which I had surgery for a year ago, so I've been recovering for that.
But I've been really impressed with how he's dealt with that and how he's managed to stay motivated.
I've been climbing again for a few months and just been building that up and easing it off and building it up, depending on the pain and what our physio says and stuff. So yeah, it's been kind of tough, of course, you know, it's been a while, of course, so it's been good to actually be able to get out and try hard again, which I think has been really important. It's just being able to try hard, basically.
So I remember watching Ben Moon do his ascent of Rain Shadow, and that was when I was trying Raindogs, which was, so yeah, I mean, when I was trying Raindogs, I remember watching Ben on that and thinking how on earth would be able to climb through that roof when, you know, Raindogs felt really hard at the time. project and those particular routes started in the fact that we weren't able to travel as much because of COVID. So it was really convenient to kind of focus on projects in the UK. I mean, I've always wanted to, you know, there's always been like amazing routes that I've looked at, wanted to try. It was really nice to have local projects that were convenient to come and try, opposed to something abroad where it's a lot more effort. After school on a weeknight, you can pop out there and try it.
But now as the boys have got older, particularly when they got to like 14 and they could belay, it was more us going climbing together, and now they belay me and we just go out climbing as equals, and that's really, really, really great. And I've, in the last few years, just suddenly been able to focus on my climbing as well as theirs, and I've progressed. I mean, I'm not young anymore, but I feel like I'm sort of making progress. Regardless of really what the grade is, it's a shared experience, and we have understanding. You know, when you fail, we know what it's like. When you get gripped, we know what it's like. It's always been nice to get out with the boys. It's always the same shared experience, as long as you're, trying hard and redpointing or on-sighting. We're good mates. We are good mates. Definitely, we get on well. I think I'm really, really lucky. Really, really lucky.